I've seen this before.
Let's see this.
There's no new cinematic. They're just putting them all together from the old ones. I'll turn it up a little bit. There we go. How about that? Oh yes, I remember Toronto went through the emo phase. Remember BlizzCon, guys? Remember that?
I remember
Back
BlizzCon.
before COVID.
Aww. Fucking sad.
Maybe they're going to announce a new BlizzCon.
Dude, if I do BlizzCon, I'm buying a ticket today.
God, Varian was such a badass.
Excuse me. Varian was so cool.
Hi, everyone. I'm John Haidt, General Manager for Warcraft, and with me today are my friends Ian Hazzikostas, who is the Director for World of Warcraft, and Holly Longdale, who leads up the production team for
Not much of it, but it's there.
We're getting
Really
Wrath.
appreciate you tuning in.
Yep, we're getting Wrath.
We're really excited to be able to give you updates on what's happening in World of Warcraft. But first, I want to thank our community for all the feedback you've given us this year.
Bonus.
And especially our community council. You've helped shape and influence the updates that we've done recently and what you're going to see in the upcoming year.
I mean, really, for Shadowlands in particular, the story of the last 9 months or so of this expansion is all about the community.
That's
and
true.
It's shaped by what we've been hearing from them.
It's very true.
And us realizing as a team that we just collectively needed to do a better job of
Goddamn
making sure
right.
the community felt heard.
Wow.
So that led us
Goddamn
to the
right.
changes we made in 915, but
Fuck.
also really re-examining some of the
Holy
assumptions
shit.
and foundations
Great.
of World of
Good
Warcraft
shit, Ian.
about things like character investment and mains versus
We got it.
alts, or how catch-up should work, or the appropriate role
Yeah.
of friction in our systems.
Yeah,
And I think
fucking get rid of the
915
cash shop.
represented a step in the direction of letting players have
Yeah.
more freedom to play World of Warcraft the way they want to play it.
Imagine that.
And we really built our Eternity's End content update from the ground up around those principles.
What are some of the things that the community said that influenced your
I do like
decisions
this guy in the
for
middle. He's
Eternity's
cool.
End?
What the fuck
Things
is
been around
like
for a long
the
time.
method and pacing of acquisition of the Covenant Legendary item,
This sucks
tons of
big
tuning,
dicks.
and I think every step of the way, we were listening to make sure that we were carrying forward those lessons learned.
I love
in the
how they
course of
made Ian say
915
this. Rise
into
of
Eternity's
Sanctuary
End and beyond.
So, WoW Classic came about
Dog
because
shit.
of the community.
Yeah,
It was
they
great, and
continue
then you
to
made
help
dog
guide
shit.
and support us as Classic evolves.
World of Warcraft has always been about the world and the players that inhabit it. And we are, in a lot of ways, curators and caretakers of that journey and of
like
that
that.
experience. And so once this
Wow.
classic community
I said
formed
this.
and grew, we had to listen to them.
It's this tide
Fuck.
of listening
This
to
is
the
great.
community and paying attention to what is
Everything
a
is
good
good.
experience for our players now.
Uh-oh.
And where we really saw a sea change in this idea is with our Season of Mastery realm, which is a season of fresh start classic. And initially,
Oh, you
we
mean
were
the thing that
talking
nobody
about it like
fucking
it was
played?
going to be like a fresh start. Let's try this experiment in a season. It'll be about
I'm
a
actually
year
really
long.
curious what they're gonna say
And then
here.
when the community
Nobody
found
wants
out
to
about
play
it, we
WoW
started
for a
seeing
season,
this
guys.
exponential
People want to play WoW for their whole fucking lives.
All community project into this Soul of Iron system that became a centerpiece of Season of Mastery and a whole new opt-in hardcore mode that we've seen communities built around.
It was pretty
Lots
popular.
of, you know, thrilling victory and painful defeat.
5 hours. I made it 5 hours.
Yeah.
Probably
And
played
it
a warrior.
Continues, like Burning Crusade Classic. We wanted to balance the Paladin seals between Horde and Alliance, so we made an addition there. We wouldn't have gotten there without the community's input.
So,
Paladin
influenced
seals.
the community.
Good change, good
S
change.
fan got a
And
shout out.
Pretty significant,
Holy fuck.
controversial
Big changes
change to
there.
this.
Yeah, cross-faction play coming in 925, which is on a public test ROM now.
We already know about this, but yep.
Ian,
Centerpiece.
cross faction. You're breaking with a 17-year tradition.
Yeah, it's something. It was not an easily made decision by any means, you know. And I think this is another one of those areas where really we try to take to heart community feedback and requests and ask ourselves as a team whether there's a way to accommodate such an earnestly
Dude, Ian's
held desire
looking like a fucking...
and still feel like we're being true to the roots of the game. You know, I think players desire
Becoming
to
an
play with their
experienced
friends
developer,
Yeah.
that's
might
for
prefer
sure.
a different faction. or to play with the faction that they more closely identify
People
with.
just don't want the friction.
Even though their raid group is elsewhere.
It's really important for me. I play a lot of alts, and I love absorbing the story for each race, and having that ability to play with all of my friends across factions is fantastic.
At the end of the day,
Be
the
honest, you
battle
don't play
cry
Alliance
is for the
Heritage Armor.
Horde. It's not against the Alliance. It's not death to the Alliance. It's about
Yeah,
pride
hear
in one's
that?
faction. And I think there's a way to preserve that and even strengthen that while giving players the ability to make the same choice we've seen the greatest heroes make time and time again.
I can't wait to do this. I'm seeing a lot of my friends that I never knew had a max level character in the other faction suddenly come out of the woodwork.
And then
Yeah, it's gonna be
with
great.
These,
I'm excited.
These cross-faction groups, many of them are going to be diving into something new that we're doing to kind of cap off Shadowlands, a Season 4. Kind of a remix
I'm
of
excited
a
for
bit of
this.
a greatest hits,
Me too.
revisiting all of our raid zones across the expansion, bringing in some
excited
It's a
for
good
this.
idea.
familiar older favorites into the Mythic Plus rotation. And we recognize this is kind of a closing chapter, a little bit of a send-off to Shadowlands. As everyone gets ready for what happens next, and what will come next, want to give a fun new challenge for everyone to sink their teeth into.
Really cool stuff.
Yeah, this is
for
going to be good.
Modern
I'm
WoW
very excited for
players. I'm
this.
super excited about the gear.
It's a
upgrades
good
it's gonna
direction.
Give me and the chance to go back and play.
Even though
some
like
of
the thing
those
itself, I'm not
awesome
like super
raids.
hyped for.
There's a lot to
I want to know where it goes.
Very exciting.
For our next adventure in World of Warcraft,
Okay.
we're going to go back to Azeroth. We're going
Yes!
to
I knew it.
with high fantasy. I mean,
Yes!
we're fans of Azeroth for a long time.
Yes!
This has been kind of the foundation of much of the lore.
What I
of
want.
WoW. So, without further ado,
Please?
let's watch the cinematic.
All right.
Play cinematic.
Let's
time.
watch it.
Okay. Calm down.
Okay.
Here we go. 10,000 years ago.
Illidan?
What the fuck?
The world has
What
been
is
sundered.
this?
Oh, shit.
It cries out in pain.
Where is this?
We must go to its aid. We
Oh,
entrust
shit.
our ancestral home to you, the Watchers.
Oh, fuck. It's Odin. Wait, no. Oh, it's not. I thought it was. It's here. So these are the Titan Watchers?
They're doing the dragons.
Wait, didn't the Titan Watchers make the dragon aspects what they are?
Slumber, hidden, even from our own eyes. You will feel our return in the waking of
What
the
the
land.
fuck?
Then you must light the beacon of Tearhold, lest the path home be lost to us forever.
They're just some big boys.
What is this?
Okay.
I like
The
it.
Watchers are fucking back.
I like it.
What the fuck is going
What the
on?
fuck? It's a flower. He got fucked up, huh?
What the hell?
What is this?
It's like the engine.
It's like the.
this?
Bro, it's like the thing
It's
in
the engine
fucking
of
Storm
Azeroth.
Peaks.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh!
Yes, dude.
Dude, this is not what I was expecting. Oh fuck.
Who is that?
Tyr?
Tyr was dead a long time ago, though.
I don't know, bro.
Like we've never seen this in game, like this tower. What the fuck, man? Oh shit. This guy's a fucking beast.
I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Does he...
He's gonna close
Oh
it.
shit!
Holy
Oh
shit.
fuck!
What
Oh my
a
god, that's
fucking
how it works.
legend. No! No. Our boy. Oh shit! Oh shit!
Okay.
They saved, dude! They saved him!
Okay.
This looks so good! Look at the
Holy
fucking dragons!
shit.
Oh!
There it is.
The world is healing,
It looks so good!
but her fate is yet uncertain.
Put him down, Elmstrong, and save him!
Oh my god.
Holy shit, dude!
Together, we shall be Azeroth's protectors once again. Here, the new age of dragons shall begin.
There it is.
There it is.
There it fucking is, dude.
That was so good!
Holy shit.
That was so
Not
good!
That was
Holy
fucking badass.
fuck.
Straight up 100% fucking
Holy
badass.
shit.
This is so cool.
No one
Yep.
saw it coming.
No one saw it coming.
Who could have
Carefully kept
guessed?
secret. But
Like the
seriously,
name,
I
but
mean,
fucking everything
that was
else?
badass.
to see there.
The awakening of the Dragon Isles, the return
Oh.
of dragons, the dawn of a new age. Right, we've seen Rathian searching for his father's legacy, searching for the Dragon Isles. There's a reason why he hasn't been able to find them until now.
Rathian's
The
one of my
beacon
favorite
going
characters.
off. Is that summoning the dragons?
love
It is removing the concealment that had hidden the Dragon Isles from the world, but also beckoning the dragons back urgently in a time of need.
I assume pretty good variety of locales within the Dragon Isles. It's
Yes.
Yeah.
The Dragon Isles, as kind of standard for WoW expansion, consist of 5 zones, 4 standard leveling zones, and a new starter zone that we'll get to in a second.
That's
Can you
good.
talk a little
I
bit
like
about
that.
how the team found ways to thread the dragon aspects throughout the environments?
The
Okay.
Dragon Isles are a place that is lush and primal, bursting with elemental energy. As Azeroth herself reawakens, those primal forces are expressed throughout the environment, whether it's magma activity, volcanic activity, whether it's
I
the
like
icy
that. That
wastes of
looked
the
cool.
Azure span. And each one of those has a connection
Wow.
to
Ooh.
a Dragonflight that we've seen before.
Wow.
And it's going to be an amazing
Ooh,
place
I love
for players
that.
to arrive at and explore.
All right, you know I'm going to ask.
That
Yeah,
looks
okay,
nice.
so-
Can I be a dragon?
Let's start
Please,
getting into some features
please,
here.
let me
and
be a
what
dragon.
Dragonflight means for you as well as just a place. So
Oh!
first off, yes, we have an
Oh!
all new playable race, the Drakthir race.
What the fuck?
This is a dragon
Holy
draconic
fuck!
race, but dragons in Warcraft have the ability to take on a
What?
humanoid form.
What classes can they be?
They have unique abilities as literally a dragon. That doesn't quite
Oh,
fit
so
any of
interesting.
our existing classes. And so what we're doing is this is not just a new race, but it's also a new class. You know,
What?
adding a new race to World of Warcraft and not just an allied
What?
race is something that we don't do lightly.
Holy
But
shit.
telling this expansion, this story, so focused
It's a
around
dragon
dragons,
class too?
felt like the perfect time for it. So if you are a Drakthir, you will be the Evoker class. Drakthir can only be Evokers, Evokers can only be
Evokers.
Drakthir. And the reason why only a Drakthir could be an Evoker is that an Evoker is really combining the ability to call upon the magic of the different aspects.
That's a ballsy
with the
decision.
unique physical
That's
gifts that a Drakthir
very
has.
ballsy.
The ability to actually take flight and do
Holy
an
shit.
Onyxia style, strafing deep breath over the battlefield, land on the other side,
Okay.
knock everyone back with a wing buffet, and then unleash your magical abilities.
Yes, please.
The Evoker has 2 specializations. They're a hybrid of either range DPS or healer. And they wear mail
What?
armor We figured, you know, with the new hero classes
Perfect.
added over the years, we have enough melee. We don't need
Oh,
all
that's
those.
so good.
That's perfect.
And
Yeah.
also
I think they're
probably don't
cool.
need any more leather wares.
The raid
No,
leaders
it's just not a
are
melee
largely
class.
free.
It's not a melee
Exactly.
class.
This is
It's
definitely
it's
a
okay.
hero
It's
class.
okay. It's not
And
a melee
so
class.
That means
I'll
that,
get
you know,
over
like
it.
the Death Knights before them or Demon Hunters, they will be starting level 58, and then they're going to have a new starter zone. So they're going to have a slightly different journey into the Dragon Isles as opposed to
Okay.
the rest of us that are sailing there from other parts of Azeroth.
That would make
Can you
make
talk
sense.
a little bit about the customizations? Like what is going to be able to identify my Dragtheer character?
Basically anything and everything. You know, skin color, hair color, jewelry,
Okay,
tattoos, other
okay.
adornments. You can
What
make this
the
character
fuck?
the expression of your identity in Azeroth.
New zone.
Ooh, I
new
like that
class,
green one.
New race. Well, tell us
Okay.
about some of the
Okay,
new
maybe I'm
system
okay.
updates.
Maybe I just
Uh-oh.
like the red one.
Of course, a new
Here we
expansion
go.
brings with it, you know,
No.
new systems, new features.
No.
I think in recent expansions, one of the things we've tended to do is really have these deep features that were closely tied to a specific expansion that would then get left behind as we moved on. And we've heard loud and clear from players that you know, it's kind of a bummer to start off every new expansion by leaving a large part of your character behind, by leaving a large part of your progression behind. So this time around, what we're doing is really pouring all of our energy into permanent revamps, overhauls, and improvements to World of Warcraft's core systems.
Holy
Things
fuck!
like
Okay.
our progression systems, in this case, our talent system.
Wow.
Something that we want to completely revamp. We want to take a look at our UI. We want to take a look at professions.
What?
So with the talent revamp and the
Wait, I couldn't even
arrival
keep track of that
Classic,
all.
Did you learn anything about how
What the
our
fuck?
talents work?
I think seeing a new generation of players play with those talents and work through those talent trees really underscored some of the things that, frankly, we lost when we shifted to the Mists of Pandaria style talents and beyond.
True?
A big piece of that was some
Very
of just the
true.
granularity, the feeling of getting a level and spending a point to customize your character to make yourself a bit better in some
my
specific
God.
way.
Yes.
But also, you know, that sense of hybridity that you
Holy
can have, that's something that we've largely lost. And so the new talent system avoids directly pitting player power
Yes,
choices
dude!
directly
Holy
against
fuck!
the utility hybrid choices because we
It's
know
a
that there's always
tree!
a
Oh my god!
we like
and we
trees,
also
boys.
understand that, you know, there's a lot of
Bro,
strength
what
in
the
the
fuck?
flexibility of the modern talent system. A lot of
Yes,
players
dude!
customize their talent
Yes,
for a
dude!
particular encounter or for dungeons versus PvP, and we don't want to lose any of that.
So John, UI?
Oh my God. Yes, I got this 30-inch monitor trying to keep track of where I am on the map, all my buffs, and over here,
Wait.
what's going on in chat. It has literally made my eyes go like this. So
You're not alone in that. We've made a lot of incremental changes and additions over the years, but really this is a
What?
revamp. This is an overhaul. And so
An
we're
overhaul.
excited to really modernize
An
the look and
overhaul,
feel while
boys.
staying true to the origins
This
of
could actu-
World of Warcraft. Now, at the same time, we're not looking to take away the sort of power user customization there. Add-ons are still there if you want them, but we want a much
We can
better
work on that.
default out-of-the-box
We'll work on it.
experience.
Ian, we
for
gotta
all
talk,
players,
Ian.
new and old alike.
and can I reduce elements, remove elements, if I want to explore the world and see
Holy
the beauty
shit.
of
So that's the
Azeroth?
new
When it
game.
comes to specific elements, as much
Oh
as
my-
possibly, we
that
want to
looks
let players
good.
choose what to
Oh,
show
wow.
and to
So-
hide.
All right, I'm
so
going
that
to keep my
they
UI.
can
I
control it
don't want
themselves.
to change
You
that.
mentioned
Yeah, mine's
profession.
been the same 15 years. Isn't that
I
gonna
have a
change?
critical question about this.
Okay.
Go on.
Can I wear a chef's hat?
Yeah, I knew it.
Our approach to professions in Dragonflight is really all about delivering on fantasy and identity as a
Whoa.
crafter. And
Okay.
so if
Whoa.
you want to be a serious blacksmith, if you
Okay.
want to be a great leather worker, we want to deliver the ability to invest time and energy into that, become a master crafter, be able to make items that are in demand, interact with the community. One of the big pieces that we want to do
Look at that.
to support that is a new work order system to have a bit more convenience than just spamming trade chat all day. But if you are someone, you're not yourself a blacksmith, but you have a bunch of mats and you want them forged into a great sword, you can put that work order up, list your mats, offer a commission,
Ooh, that's
What?
sick.
and a
Fuck?
skilled blacksmith can come along and make you the weapon of your
That
dreams.
is dope.
I think we left out one thing though. You can be a Dragtheer, go to Dragon Isles. Can I have a dragon?
What's the fantasy of dragons if not soaring over the lands? And so we're really excited
Please,
to
let me
introduce
turn
a
into a big
feature we're
dragon.
calling dragon riding. It's dynamic with everything from momentum to dive bombs, the ability to just sort of
fuck?
build that speed up and feel the world rushing
What?
past you in a way that should be much more exciting than traditional flight that we've made available in the past, but that's also available for players through a customizable dragon mount right from the start.
So
So they're doing it. They're doing exactly what I said.
Over time, right, to become an
They're making
awesome
flying
dragon
from the
rider.
start.
Yes, you'll be able to sort of
Look at that dragon.
upgrade
This is exactly what I
aspects of your
said.
flight.
I knew it.
You will have this
Fuck, I knew
control
it.
Flight from the start. And
This
the Dragon
looks
Companion
so
that you
cool.
have is, of course, very thoroughly customizable, which is a new thing for us for mounts. This is
Wow.
not
They're
just a generic dragon.
That's
that
another
everyone
thing I
has,
wanted.
But a Drake that is yours.
You can add,
What
like,
you want its
fucking
scales to look like, horns, the shape of its head, other attachments,
What?
armor pieces, and more. Take your pick.
This is so cool.
So yes, the Dragonflight expansion is going to see
Oh, new
players leveling to 70, going to the all-new
Okay.
continent of the Dragon Isles, which consists of 5 zones, 4
Okay.
standard leveling zones, and a new starter zone for our Drakthir class, as well as a range of systems revamps, such as a new talent system, an overhaul and update to our UI, and an entirely fresh look at professions, with more
God
depth than ever
damn.
before. Also getting around the Dragon Isles is going to come in the form of dragon riding, which lets you customize and upgrade your own
Look at that
mount
dragon,
so that you can fly in a
dude!
sense from the start. And of course, as with any new expansion, we have a new set of dungeons, a raid, and much more to come.
We also have an alpha that will be starting up in the future.
Check out our website for more information,
Okay.
and
In
keep
the
an eye out for
future
those
when?
opt-in signups. If you
He
want
almost
to
said
help
when,
us
and then
test
he
out
stopped
Dragonflight
himself.
and give us even more feedback to make it better.
We do have a deep dive that follows this, so please stay around.
Oh,
This
Classic
expansion has
players,
so
we haven't
much
forgotten
potential,
about
man.
you.
yes.
You could probably guess
Say it.
where we're going to go next.
Rap,
One of the
rap.
all-time favorite
Okay.
expansions for World of
fucker.
Warcraft. Let's watch the cinematic.
All right. Wait.
They made a new cinematic.
Wait a second.
No way.
What the hell?
What is this? Did you think we had forgot?
My king, you. There's no way.
No, don't get
There's
too
no
hyped.
way.
No, don't get too hyped.
Oh my.
Oh, there it is. There's the sword,
The
baby.
day you were born, the very forests of Lordaeron whispered the name
Oh,
Arthas.
Oh.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
When my days have come to an end,
Looks like we're getting.
you shall be king.
yes, motherfucker!
Holy.
There it is, boys.
2023? Oh, 2022.
2022.
Wait, that's this
It's
year.
coming out this motherfucking year.
Let's go.
Yep.
It's just incredible, isn't it? Every time I see the cinematic, I get
God
chills.
damn,
No pun
bro.
intended, I get chills. As you saw, Wrath of the Lich King Classic is coming this year. It brings back so many memories. When you see that cinematic,
Oh my
what do
God.
you remember from Wrath of the Lich King?
Anytime you want to talk about undead frozen dragons, how can you not go back to Sindragosa as the
Yeah.
source? That was the first expansion I played with my youngest son. So I can remember on that platform, black goo and chunks of ice falling off and having to repeat that battle with the Lich King. But when we finally downed him, it was such an incredible moment. He jumped up out of his room and I jumped up out of my office. We're like, yeah, did it.
That's so cool.
So it's a very lasting tale for me.
So as you know,
I
with
remember
this
Jeff used to
expansion,
sit behind
we
me
will in
and,
pre-patch be able to
prog
play
on
the
the Lich
Death
King.
Knight. They will start at level 55. You don't have to have a high level character to make
Oh,
the Death
no,
Knight, so
everybody
everyone
can
will
just
be able to
make
make one.
We're excited to get players some time before Wrath
Uh-oh.
to get geared up and ready to jump into Northrend.
Not
Everybody.
good.
And
Can't
there
wait to
are
run
so
ramparts,
many
boys.
zones and areas to explore in Northrend.
That's gonna
and
be
I want
fun.
us to talk about some of our favorites. So for me, Grizzly Hills has a very special place in my heart. The music was some of the best
Yeah.
I've experienced in World of Warcraft.
I still make my way all the way up to Storm Peaks to try and find the time-lost Protodrake and have yet to get it.
Oh,
I've got to say
come on, dude.
Dragonflight. The wide open nature of the zone,
Come on.
Born's Temple in the center
make
of
a
it.
character
it's
on a
an
dead
unforgettable
server.
expansion as both a developer and a player, and kind of making that transition from one to
At
the
least
other.
now we know he's
Now
never been in
let's
my
talk
mouth.
about some changes. So one thing we looked at is Dungeon Finder, and it feels like how we envision Classic, Dungeon Finder is not a good fit for our community.
That
All right.
was kind of the first step that may have
Okay.
eroded build some of that social fabric.
Okay.
Now, as people have gone through the experience of going back to vanilla, rebuilding those groups, relying on each other.
No dungeon finding.
Not wanting necessarily a random participant just to show up and then leave.
Yep.
Yeah, that
What
makes
the
total
fuck?
sense.
But today, you can do that in Shadowlands. You'll be able to do that in Dragonflight. It's a self-selected group of people who specifically want that different experience.
Yes.
Let's make sure that's what we continue to give them.
That leads right into arena teams in Burning Crusade Classic. So we listen to the community and we remove that because individual rating is preferable and a better experience for them than arena teams. Also, with Wrath of the Lich King,
Arena teams
Barbershop, which allows you to customize your character. We're going to be adding a few more options that were not
that's cool.
existing when Wrath launched. But also
Great.
there's another side of this where we are not going to charge a real money fee. It was a paid character customization fee, right?
Yeah.
It seems the right thing to do that just be available in game for gold and we add more options to it, right?
Wow.
Sort of like spell
There
batching
you
in
go.
a sense. There's a lot of technical
That's good.
advancements.
Great.
It's not
That's
about
awesome.
The philosophy of what makes classic,
Fuck
what
yeah.
brings people together. It's just what's the better experience.
Yeah, that's the better experience
And
for
let's
sure.
not artificially
agree.
restrict something that we can provide a better version of just for the sake of nostalgia. And we're happy to say this is one of those cases.
So
Great.
Wrath, the level cap's being increased to level 80, so we'll be introducing a level 70 boost so that players who want to get in with their friends or just explore Northrend right away will be able to do that. You can't apply it to a Death Knight, but you will be able to use it otherwise. And
Okay.
of course, we have Inscription,
Yes.
a whole new profession.
Yeah.
We all
so
knew
we're
that was
really
gonna
excited
happen.
about
Yeah,
that.
we knew.
We all
Yeah,
knew this
and
was
as
gonna
we
happen.
continue
We know,
this
yeah.
Like, I'm
road
sorry,
to
but, like, I
Wrath,
don't give
we're
a
going to be
shit.
looking to
I
getting
give a
a lot
shit.
of
I don't.
feedback on beta, and we'll make changes
Like
as we need
I
to.
don't. By burning
Such an
by
exciting
Wrath, it was
time
so
to be
easy to
playing
level.
World
It
of
doesn't matter.
Warcraft. We have the return of the Wrath of the Lich King for classic fans and taking us somewhere new
Yeah, I
with
don't know my
Dragonflight.
opinion
We're
on that
so
shit.
excited to be able to bring these adventures to you.
I don't like it, but
Don't forget, there's a deep
we're gonna do
dive
it, we're
on
gonna do it.
Dragonflight where you're going to get a lot more information.
Wait, when
Thank
when
you
is
so
that?
much
When is that
for
happening?
spending this
It's
time
like
with
after
us.
this. It's after
We'll
this.
see you
Okay,
in
okay, okay,
Azeroth.
okay, okay.
And we'll see you in Northrend.
Okay, everybody
And in the Dragon
shush,
Isles.
shush. I think it's gonna keep going, right?
All right, deep
It
dive, deep
sure
dive.
fucking is.
All right, shh.
All right, here we go.
Hi there. Welcome to the Dragonflight Deep Dive. I'm Steve Denuser.
And I'm Taryn Gregory. Starting
All
it off
right,
here, we're
Steve.
going to talk about the setting and the story of Dragonflight.
All right,
We've got this great
Steve.
expansion.
Here we go.
Exciting
Okay,
pre-render
Steven.
trailer that everyone just watched. So let's talk about the setting for Dragonflight, the Dragon
Let's do
Isles.
it.
Dragon Isles have been known for a long time in Warcraft history as a mysterious place where the dragons came from long ago, but we never knew much more than that.
We're going to this place that is kind of the broodlands of all the Dragonflights, the place where they nested, where they built their civilization. The Dragon Isles was the center of the Dragon's kingdom when the world was young and the mortal races were just starting to form kingdoms of their own. But when the Legion invaded for that War of the Ancients, that sundering that resulted from the explosion of the Well of Eternity, broke the world.
Literal sundering of the continents of Azeroth.
And because of the
happened
breaking
in
of the
real life,
world,
too.
that magic kind of drained away
There's
and the
no
land
more
went
dragons
dormant. So they had to
anymore,
leave the Dragon Isles behind. And as we saw in the pre-render, they left behind some Titan Watchers
Right.
to look over the land. And when someday they hoped that elemental energy would resurge once again and draw the dragons home,
Oh, that makes
reestablish their
sense.
kingdom.
And that's when the message goes out to the flights and they feel it in their bones.
Now it's the time for
It's
the
like the
sky to
flowers.
light up with the colors of the aspects once again, and for Alex Straza and the others to come home. But the land has changed a lot in all these thousands of years they've been away, and some very old threats have
What
awakened
about the
as
sword?
well.
What
We're
sword?
looking into the culture of dragons as they exist
What
in
sword? What do you mean?
Warcraft.
Dragons, as we know them today, were very different in the early past, the early history of
Go!
Azeroth. They were much more
Dude!
primitive, much more savage, what we now know as proto-dragons.
And then
Galacross.
some of the dragons were empowered to become the aspects. The green flight,
Oh.
red flight, blue flight, bronze flight, black flight, each with unique powers, each with the ability to
That's
protect
him.
the world in different ways. These pillars of draconic power appointed to defend Azeroth from threats within and without.
Dragons used that power both for good, in the case of most of the aspects, but also for nefarious reasons in the case of the Black Dragonflight led by Neltharion, who would become Deathwing.
And what we will find in Dragonflight is that some of these ancient divisions run deep. And so it begs the question, where do we go from here? If this is an opportunity to reclaim their legacy, to be the protectors, as the cinematic mentioned, that they once were,
To do that, they're going to need the help of our heroes, our players, to come to the Dragon Isles with them and face some of these reawakening challenges, because it's not just that this land is peacefully waiting for the dragons to return and reclaim it.
That's what I'm curious
There's
about.
those old enemies that have awakened as well.
That's so cool.
One of those being a race of kind of elemental half-giants, the
What
Jaredans.
the hell?
The Dragon Isles isn't just populated by dragons or just by the Jaredin. There's also many other occupants here in the Dragon Isles. They've been here either just recently or for a while, including fan favorite coming back, the Tuskar.
That's going to be awesome. We've got other cultures there as well in the Dragon Isles. We're going to find out about a civilization of centaurs that predates the ones that arose on Kalimdor much later.
That's
and
cool.
some of our favorite characters that we've seen over the last few expansions, such as Rathian.
And whether he's ready to step up into a leadership role,
He better
or
be.
if there are other alternatives out there that would be
other
better suited to the job of being the aspect of the Black
Tauren
Dragonflight.
guy.
I think one thing the players are going to be really excited about this expansion is the new playable race, the Drakthir.
That's right.
And this is something that Neltharion, before he was Deathwing,
wonder how
before he
Gear's
went
gonna look on
full
him.
crazy world dragon, that he put into motion.
Neltharion saw those primalists that were kind of breaking away from the aspects and what they wanted. And so, in those first experiments, he took the essence of dragons, their strength, their nobility, their wisdom, and he combined it with that scrappiness, that adaptability that the mortal races had. And he wanted to use that to create the ideal soldier in his mind, the Drakthir. Exploration is really one of the key themes of this expansion. We're going to be going to this ancient place that the dragons left behind long ago.
Yeah, that
so
makes
we've
sense.
made these huge zones with all kinds of places to delve into and find little treasures and little secrets tucked away. It's going to be a lot of fun for players to be exploring these landscapes.
Cool.
And there's so much architectural history and how clearly aspirational was the kingdom of the dragons and how
thank God we
it
got
lost
flying unreleased.
so much. And the themes of trying to return to that, to try to find your legacy, to try to figure out who you were before everything went awry. But there's questions, thematic questions of what does it mean to be true to your legacy? Are we going to repeat the mistakes of the past?
The dragons have had to learn those lessons just like the mortal kingdoms have had to. And I think that's one of the reasons why the dragons see this now as the time that they have to return and they have to step up once again as protectors of Azeroth. We're helping the dragons because the dragons have helped us in the past too. So by using the Explorers League and the Reliquary together, that allows us to delve into some of that history.
And when I look upon the Dragon Isles and all of its visual splendor, I get so excited.
That
for
looks
the
really
prospect
cool.
of a truly Azerothian adventure alongside Caligos, along with Rathian, Ebonhorn.
Wait, was that Caligos?
With Ysera's daughter,
I think
Marissa,
so.
as each one of them is trying to find their own flight. I am taken by the exploration and the potential for adventure and just new horizons within this world.
I don't want to see that.
There's going to be old stories from that time past, that history that only the dragons knew for the longest time. We're going to be able to explore that.
It really feels like just a breath of fresh air.
So now we're going to turn things over to some of our colleagues who will take you on that deep dive into the locations and the features of Dragonflight.
This is pretty good.
Hello, I'm Stephanie.
I'm Josh.
I'm Jackie.
And I'm Gary. And we're part of the teams that are building the first two zones that you'll encounter in the Dragon Isles, the Waking Shore and the Unaran Plains.
Let's see it.
The very first zone in Dragonflight you're going to come to is the Waking Shores. It's wild,
really cool.
untamed land. It's waking up around you too, and the elements are just going crazy.
The art team again has hit it out of the park.
You'll see like a lava mountain flowing in through
that
the
looks
beach.
really fucking
Giant proto-dragons
badass.
swooping down, gobbling up members of your expedition.
We have such rife opportunities.
Where's the
To
snow
show
zone?
elementals rising up because of the crazy magic that's
Reminds me
flying
of
around.
Gorgorond a little bit.
The one of the things I love is just how you get to the Dragon Isles, right? So you're going to get on your boat in Stormwind or Orgrimmar, and the first thing you do is sail between like the dragon ruin architectures. The boats come right alongside each other. You can jump from one boat to the other and just start causing havoc on the other faction's boat.
For those who love PvP,
That's cool.
this is a great opportunity for war mode.
It's free for all out there. It's going to be great. But it's okay. There's an innkeeper on the beach, so that if you're in that situation and you don't want to be in war mode anymore, you can just hop out right there.
So if you play
The
Alliance.
Reliquary and the Explorers League are working together.
The Horde and Alliance are sending an expedition together. It's not the military, it's not the soldiers. This is the scientists, the settlers, exploring this new land. So it's a lot more optimistic tone.
One of my favorite things about the Waking Shores is the Red Dragonflight, led by Queen Alexstrasza, the Lifebinder. They have the mandate of nurturing and protecting all life, which means Horde and Alliance, Gorloks, trolls, everybody. So they take that duty seriously. When the Horde and the Alliance come to the Waking Shores, they want to be there to help guide the people through the new land and welcome them. But they're not the only one in the Waking Shores.
We have the ancestral home of the Black Dragonflight there too,
Black Dragonflight.
which has fallen on tough times since Deathwing's descent. And so Rathian's coming over to the Isles with us, and he's going to try and come to terms with the state of the Dragonflight, which is a few loyal Draconids and Dragon Spawn trying to hold their ground. What can the future of the Dragonflight be if it's just Rathian?
True.
Because it's not just the dragons that are coming back to the Dragon Isles, but
It's not just
also
Rathian,
their
though. It's the
longtime rival,
Torrens
the
guy as
Jarden.
well, right?
I love the Jarden so much. They're half giants that wield the power of magma, and when
That's
the Waking
cool.
Shores and the
I
Dragon
like
Isles
that.
went to slumber, they also slumbered. They're back now, and they are ready to raise chaos.
Yeah, they're massive. They're riding giant lava mammoths, parading around, just stomping on your face.
And they were the enemies of the Dragonflight for so long. They fought against the Red Dragonflight, hunted dragons down, and they're really taking this opportunity to rise up. As the Red Dragonflight have the mandate of nurturing life, they don't want to just stomp out the Jarden completely, but they want to make sure that they don't have the power to affect those around them negatively, to make sure they don't go on a rampage and destroy the ecosystem that has been created here.
And so those are awesome things in the Waking Shore,
That's
but Seth,
smart.
there really is only one right answer for the best thing in Waking Shores, right?
What?
This is
What
true.
the hell?
Ducks.
We finally have
We
those
have some
web feet
ducks.
hooligans in our game. We cracked the
Bro.
technology. We've got them
Figure
in.
it out.
Bro, really? They watched
You
the
should be
video?
Thank you.
It's
Oh my god.
The Onaran Plains
That's
come
so
right after
funny.
the Waking Shores.
No way.
It's so breathtaking at first glance.
The Onaran plains are big, wide open
Oh
plains.
my God.
And the player is going to be constricted a little bit, and then you see this big contrast of a zone. We don't always get that opportunity, that cinematic moment where the player can have a framed view when they see this area.
Yeah,
come
Legion
out
did
and you
that
got
really
that
well.
postcard
Yeah, Legion,
shot
yeah.
of the plains, and then you see this giant
Where's
fire
the snow zone,
proto-dragon
though?
breathing fire, and a herd of centaur like harpoon down
Yeah.
the proto-dragon,
You know, like
crash
when
into
you
the
go into
ground,
Suramar,
and the first thing you
like,
get to
there's the
do is
mountains
go
with,
help
like,
them kill
Dalren
the
in the middle.
proto-dragon. Like, how cool is that?
Who is Onara?
Onara is the wild god of the wind. And she's appeared before as like this big spirit eagle. She's the one who
Okay.
guided the centaur to the Dragon Isles many, many years ago. She blessed them, took their caravan across, and then showed them the plains.
How fun at the beginning of this expansion was exploring the culture of the centaur.
The centaur are these mighty, awesome hunters that back when they first came to the Dragon Isles, they fought the green dragons all day long. Eventually they realized that we're strong, you're strong, maybe we should stop decimating each other's people. We'll make peace, we'll make an agreement. You guys hang out in the groves and the centaur will hang out in the plains. But now the dragons have been gone for 10,000 years. And the
So now
centaur
they're
have
just
come
doing whatever
so
the fuck they
far
want?
since then. And they've
They're
been
like,
here
"Fuck this
and they've been
shit."
existing and developing their culture. They
Do whatever
all
the hell
came
they
over
want.
as one clan led by the mighty Maruk and Tira, and they founded a new life here. So if you want to get across, you have to follow their rules and their traditions. You have to earn their trust. You are the first outsiders to come in generations upon generations. The centaur might rule the open plains, but the green dragons make their home in the groves.
Okay.
And those groves are absolutely gorgeous.
And how
Looks
great
nice.
a
I'll
job
do
it
it
is that we have where I can take all of this beautiful artwork and build these beautiful fantasy.
It's a rep
worlds,
grind,
high
yeah.
fantasy. We want to do lots of things with an open plane, and we want to be creative with that. But we're restraining ourselves by letting the zone sing, letting the horizon tell the story. We certainly couldn't have done that in the vanilla WoW.
No, definitely not. The zones are so big and you can see so far, especially
I
in
like that.
Onaran
That's good.
Plains. So we talked to the engineers and we actually increased that distance.
It spurs you
Oh,
on
that's
to want
so
to
great.
adventure and look through the zone.
That's
and
actually
explore
so
everything.
good.
The interesting thing for me is we
thought they
have
already
all
did
these
that for
conflicts
Stormhide.
with the Dragonflights. There's missing
I don't
dragons,
know.
there's battles, there's so much crazy stuff happening, but that's not really
That's
all
big
we're
good.
doing. There's so much extra fun activities for people to do. And the greatest thing is that you need to figure out exactly what's going on and help solve all the problems that are just sprouting up everywhere.
We're just really excited to tell a story that's grounded in Azeroth and exploration. There's so much more to talk about. But now, we're going to have some folks talking about the next 2 zones that players are going to experience in the Dragon Isles.
Okay, let's see those. I like the first two.
Azure Plant, Span, and Bad.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kate.
I'm Christy.
I'm Kate.
I'm Sean. We're going to talk today about Valdrassus and the Azure Span. So Azure Span is going to be the third zone that players adventure through, and it's one of our biggest zones that we've done in the Dragonflight.
This looks like
Grizzly Hills. Knew it was
I
gonna
really
be
like
the
that
largest
zone.
visual elevation change, and it really started with this great concept art. When we first were taking a look at the design, we kept coming back to one of our favorite Wrath zones, which was Grizzly Hills. And we really wanted to take that, but wowify it more. And I don't know if you've ever been up to the Bay Area, but in the morning, that coastal fog comes in and dips down into the redwoods, and that sun shines through. That's really what we wanted to encapsulate with this forest. And not only do we have redwoods, but we've got all different types of trees. Eventually, it'll break open into this wide open tundra that's just golden and red, and you'll reach up to another level of elevation where you get to see the snow. The majority of the zone covered in snow and ice. We have giant frozen waterfalls, ice rivers as far as the eye can see. And Sean, I know in the forest, we can expect our first creatures.
We have a small group that lives there called the Knolls. These Knolls are all throughout the forest in Azure Span. They've made this their home. Some Knolls with strange magic that we're going to find out what exactly that's about. Snow Knolls, or as I call them, the Snolls, up in the winter area.
I want those as a playable class,
going to be around the forest area. So then we go into the big open tundra where we meet our second group, the Tuskarr.
It's going to be really neat to explore their culture a lot more. And those kids are adorable. I absolutely love the Tuskarr. Honestly, all my downtime's probably just me hanging out with the Tuskarr.
So it's been a little while since we've seen them. We remember the Tuskarr and the Map of Lich King. They're also getting a nice cool upres for their models, along with expanding their culture. So there are going to be male Tuskarr, female Tuskarr, Tuskarr kids. So we're going to fight alongside them, which includes help from certain dragons, the blue dragons. We're going to follow the story of Malagos, our blue dragon buddy from the Kirin Tor, and he's going to be adventuring into Sindragos' archives. It's a giant zone. There's a lot of surprises. When we're done there, we head over to Valdrassus.
Valdrassus.
It's really incredible because you will be going through some of the previous zones and seeing a lot of ruins for the dragon buildings. But when you get to Valdrassus, everything is perfectly intact. It's beautiful. It's pristine. It is the seat of power for all 5 Dragonflights and home of the dragons. It feels that way with the huge vertical mountains. We've got these great cave systems where you may end up finding little dragon hordes.
My favorite Dragonflight right now is the Bronze. They've got a really cool area in Valdrassus, and their magic is time. There's so many cool story hooks that we could dig into there. There's so many cool gameplay options. And we have a little bit of an adventure for players. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
We really wanted it to feel like their old stomping grounds. One of the really cool features is going to be the main city and player hub for this expansion, Valdrakken.
That's a cool name.
It is a culmination of all of the Dragon's efforts to put together what a city would look like. So we ended up having a bunch of really fun small vignettes where you can see that the blue Dragonflight is hosting a public library, and the red and green Dragonflights both have their own separate gardens. We'll also have some convenience services for players, including an auction house in the city, which will be really nice if you're looking for more exotic wares. The thing that really sold me on Valdrassus was the initial concept art we got of Tierhold.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. And this is a 10,000-year-old Titan technological marvel. Tierhold has these awesome aqueducts that actually come out from the structure all the way to the city across the valley. And in the cinematic, there's just this amazing shot where you see Alexstrasza swoop under one of them, and there's splashes of water cresting across her wings. So when players are flying around themselves, they get to have their Alexstrasza moment. What an incredible place, and filled with so much
I like that
history.
flying thing, that flying customization.
Tierhold was built by Tyr. He was a Titan Keeper back in the day who helped the Aspects fight Galakrond.
Galakrond!
When they settled on the Dragon Isles, he built this facility. And even though Tyr's gone, the dragons have held him in reverence. But that was 10,000 years ago, and they've let the Titans maintain the place. An incredible amount of history has happened happened since then. Flights have been nearly wiped out. There have been invasions, betrayals. Aspects have died. And these are the kind of things that leave marks on a society. So now they're all back here, and they're all here together.
As we were designing the zone and the city itself, we're trying to figure out, how do we tell those stories at the same time as making sure that this is a really convenient place for players to go and, go shopping, as they tend to do. So much adventuring happening on the Dragon Isles.
It's so cool.
As a player, you probably don't have your own dragon wings. You are going to learn the art of dragon riding.
It's vertical. I'm just excited to dive off the tops of towers and swoop under things.
It's actually
I
one
wonder
of
if
the
you can
things
use
that
this
we're
on
about
like
to
a
learn about
boss.
next.
That's what I'm wondering.
Here we go.
Are they gonna expand this to be like a boss or some shit?
Hi, I'm Jake. I'm Andy.
I'm Kali.
And I'm Graham. And I'm really excited to talk to you guys today about the Drakthir Evoker, our new race and class coming in Dragonflight.
We're here to talk about not only the Evoker, but also dragon riding, which is our exciting expression into the exploration of the Dragon Isles.
Now they finally have
with a dragon-themed expansion, we wanted to let you play a dragon. Not a big dragon, Alexstrasza size. That'd be tough to fit into raids. I'm sorry, Jake. Okay. I know. Fine. But a draconic humanoid. So the Drakthir, created by Neltharion.
And like our other hero classes, you get to choose if you want to start on the Horde or Alliance side on character creation.
So let's talk a little bit about the Evoker, the class
that would make sense.
What's unique about it is because the Drakthir are created by an aspect, they have the ability to wield the magic of all 5 Dragonflights. So Evokers can take advantage of red magic and blue magic and bronze magic.
Wow. And to show that, we created a visual, what we call a prismatic effect. This prismatic effect is basically the coalescence of all their energy as they channel it into whatever spell that they're going to cast. You have a red magic spell called Pyre. So when you shoot it out of your mouth, it twirls in the air with all 5 of the Dragonflight's magic as it turns into the red spell before landing on your enemies and exploding and hopefully burning in the moment.
I'll take that
That's really cool. Yeah,
Getting that vibe across that they use all 5 was really important to us. But we did want to make sure that each specialization focused on 2, because casting 5 different colors gets a bit messy. So their damage dealer specialization, their first of 2, Devastation, mostly focuses on red and blue magic. Red being very fast and explosive, burning everything with Pyre, whereas blue is more focused and overwhelming. You can shoot a beam of energy out of your mouth to disintegrate one single enemy in front of you.
There's a healer spec called Preservation. The healer spec is going to focus mostly on your green and your bronze magic. So your green is going to be evocative of the Emerald Dream, your growth and your nurturing spells. And then you have your bronze magic, which is going to be more timey-wimey. So you get to heal a wound faster.
So in addition to the visuals and the animation, which all make you feel
They're doing it.
We really wanted the player to have a physical connection to the cast. We have a new type of spell called
Holy
Empower,
fucking shit,
where
they're doing
when
it.
you actually hold down the button on your keyboard, it charges up the spell. The longer you charge it up, it might do more damage or hit more targets depending on the spell. But it gives you this really physical connection and control that's new for World of Warcraft, and I think is feeling really, really good.
We have some great animations. Thank you, Andy. Your team.
Love it, Andy.
You feel physical when you're casting your spells.
You can actually fly around the battlefield and cast while you're flying.
Raining fire and death from above.
That's actually that's going to be so broken.
In addition to the gameplay, though, another part of feeling draconic is looking like a dragon.
Imagine it's like a priest, a demon hunter, and one of these.
What's actually
these customizations. But no, they're really really good.
Awesome.
Because you have both your draconic form and your humanoid form, and the customization options for both of them are amazing.
They're very good.
What about color? Just tell me.
Tell us about the color. You can do a lot of magic. So your Visage form can have scales that are the same color as your Drakthir form.
But my favorite part of customization for the Visage form, hair.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can actually do this in game.
The tech is here.
They have that on Lost Ark too.
As players make their way through each of the areas of the Dragon Isles, they'll partner up with the Dragonflights to move through the air as they've never done before. You'll notice I did not say flying, because flight has a very specific meaning for World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it does.
And we're talking about something new called dragon riding.
And as the players are honing their dragon riding skills, they're going to get to see all new animations that go along with the different look and feel of the drakes.
We're aiming to shake up movement with this new system, providing players with a deeper immersion with forces like momentum and gravity.
We knew that for Dragonflight, we were going to have the opportunity to show players a whole new set of Dragon Isle drakes, completely unique from all the other things they've seen in World of Warcraft. And so we wanted to come up with a movement system that would add that sense of physics, weight, and gravity, like you were mentioning, We knew it was going to take a huge team effort, not just animation, but it was going to take effects. It was going to take the engineering team, who we rely on heavily, and that combined with some new animations really helps to lend that feeling of physics as you move through the air in ways that you haven't before. And the icing on the cake is going to be some really cool effects that we've added on top of all of that.
Realistic.
So for example, when you start hitting, maximum velocity, you're going to see contrails coming off the edges of the wings. And then as you do your rolls and spirals, you build up more and more speed. There's going to be some screen effects on the display to indicate that you're reaching maximum velocity, which really adds to the overall kind of immersion and sense of reality.
As players make their way through the Dragon Isles, they'll discover new cosmetic options to fine-tune their Dragon Isle Drake's appearances. Things like snoots, horns, tails, elusive Dragon Isle Drake armor, and more.
Can I have spikes?
Definitely.
Okay.
We want to provide players with all new skills to play with, as those who can use their momentum well can reach higher and higher heights.
That is so cool, man.
Bring on new, more difficult challenges.
Sorry, guys.
We just have so many new, gorgeous options to choose from, and I'm just so excited for all of them.
I'm excited for the whole thing. I mean, it's been a lot of fun to work on, but I can't wait to actually get in the game, play it with you guys.
I can't wait. I can't wait to fly around Dragon Isles. It's going to be great.
Next up, you're going to hear about the talent revamp and the UI changes coming in
riding,
Dragonflight.
It could turn out good. Oh!
Hello, my name is Brian.
I'm Crash.
I'm Jay.
Is that who
And
I
I'm
think
Laura.
it is?
We are very excited to share your final revamp
Halika,
of the
baby.
WoW HUD UI.
And it is also time for a major revamp to talents and specializations.
I have a big question for the group.
Is that actually
How long
him?
do you think it took for us to finally revamp the WoW HUD?
My guess is like 15 years.
Close. 18 years.
18
years.
Wow.
You know, technology has changed a lot since we made the UI back in 2004. Now you have like bigger
Holy
monitors,
shit, he's back.
and us, we have better dev tools to work with. So it makes sense
I
to
really
have
like
the
Halika,
revamp
man.
right now. Also, if you look at the game today, the art evolved beautifully over the years. And if you look at the HUD looks like it got frozen time.
So when we approached this, we wanted to create a layout experience that players could customize, move things around, adjust it to fit their needs.
Add-ons today, they do a lot for player customization.
The downside is that not everybody uses them. It's about time that everybody has the opportunity to use them, that they become a part of the base UI.
Yeah, and we are working very closely with our user research team to make sure we are hitting the goals that our player needs.
It allows us to add new functionality to improve accessibility in a lot of areas, and on top of that, we are going to be improving the art.
Yeah, so the art update, it's a big part of this project. The UI that we have today has a lot of charm and personality, and players have been using that for 18 years.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, we want to respect the players who really like the current UI, but do a modern take to it, removing the clutter and giving more visibility for your gameplay.
That's
So
actually really
the new
good.
map, it looks bigger, and the health bar is also much bigger. If you look at the action bars and the bottom menus, they have less health frames, and
I don't like the
you
new,
can really open up
the new
your
character
gameplay.
frame.
So you don't have a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
don't like the
UI in
character
front.
frame. I'm not sure if
And
I
of
like that.
course,
Yeah,
we wanna
I'll try
find
it, but I'm not sure if I
iconic
like it.
pieces
I don't
from
think I
the
do.
current HUD, but we want to bring it back in a nice way. So we for sure updating the Griffins. They look so nice now. And the
Okay.
Horde, don't worry, we got you. We're gonna have your version as well. So let's talk about the edit mode.
We are putting a mode in that will let players move various HUD elements around on the screen.
So I'm able to move the mini-map, say, from the right corner all the way over to the left corner. If I want to bring my action bars from the bottom and kind of put them more in the center by my character, those are all things that I'll be able to do.
Absolutely. And each of those different components will have various sets of options that you'll be able to work with. They'll be able to save it, edit it, copy it, name it. Also, it'll remember which spec you're in. So if you're someone who jumps around a lot, as you switch, it will switch to whatever HUD layout you have for that spec.
This is an ongoing project. We're gonna keep working on it. So we really want to hear back from you.
A project that we're all excited about that we've been collaborating a lot on is something that's pretty UI intensive, and that's the talent system.
It hadn't changed in a long time, like you said before.
Yeah.
And we really started with how can we have players have more choice over what their character has?
As you level up, we give you a new spell or a new ability, something that kind of makes you stronger, but it's determined by the designers. We decide the order.
Yeah, we started looking for a system that would give players a much wider set of options.
And after looking at all those things,
So
what we
is
really returned back to was the idea of trees. But it's actually two
This
trees.
is the
We have
trees,
a
boys.
class tree that offers different class utility, and then we have a spec tree that is focused on performing your role, whether that's damage, tank, or healing.
Can I just jump in and say that
You're leveling
I
up both
personally
at the
am
same
super
time.
excited
Holy
about
shit.
having trees come back. There's a big nostalgia hit for me.
As we said, we have these two trees because we feel like picking a specialization is a really important part of your World of Warcraft character now. And so we want to make sure that when you choose that, it kind of affects the tree in some way.
Yeah, as soon as you open your talent tree, you'll see something new. The class side will have some abilities filled out for free, just kind of starting you off in that spec you've chosen. But then you'll have your first point to spend in the class tree, which could be something related to that spec or role, or it could be something from elsewhere in the class.
There's a lot of things that we can do here, and part of that is encouraging players to perhaps make combinations that they've never really been able to see in the game before.
I don't know if you put points into Druid
to put
or
a lot
Resto
more
or
art
both.
and fantasy
There's like
in
two
the actual
separate pools of
talent UI
points.
itself.
You have seen that a lot through most recent expansions, but not the base UI.
We want you to be able to tinker with it. You know, we want you to be able to make a lot of changes at a lot of times and not necessarily have to commit. The power really is coming back to the player. It's not something we want people to feel locked into, and so one of the things that we'll be preserving is the ability to change these talents.
Thank God.
At the same kind of frequency that you do now.
Yeah, the old school players, when you see trees this time, just think, yeah, I'll go from my raid night to my arena match and figure out what I think is the best for both of us.
And that's a process we want to make really fluid. So we're building a save load feature that lets you create your build, name it, save it, and then load it up very quickly and freely.
Talents were really about the breadth of options. We've made all these different cool things over the years, but when are they at their coolest? It's when players can hold the building blocks of what can make up their class, their spec, and put them together in a way that works for them.
So these are really cool features that we've been working long and hard on, and we're very excited about them. And it's just an early preview of the things we've been doing. We can't wait to see the reaction that you have to them, and please reach out to us and let us know your thoughts on them. And next up, we're going to talk about professions and Dragonflight.
job returning to what you should be doing.
Yes, Ash, thank you for doing the job. Thank you for doing your job. Thank you. We're waiting for this.
I'm Joanna.
And I'm Eric, and we're going to talk about our plans for professions in Dragonflight. Professions have been a staple of World of Warcraft forever, and they've seen lots of really cool incremental updates over their life. But for Dragonflight, we want to do something a bit different. We really want to rethink professions and figure out how to make them part of your identity as a player, if that's what you want.
We really want to make sure that professions...
I wonder if that meeting stone is from BlizzCon, if that's the same one they used.
Something that we're calling crafting orders. If you want to have something crafted for you, but you don't have the skill or the right profession to do it for yourself, you can have it crafted through a crafting order. You can basically browse any of the recipes that can be crafted, pick the one you want for yourself, and then you include some or all of the reagents needed for the recipe, including ones that only you can get your hands on. You can find someone who can do it right in front of you for you. Or you can also go to an NPC and using an auction house-like interface, send the order out. If you're doing this, you can pick, do you want to send the order to anyone, sort of a public order, or do you want to send it to your guild?
That's cool.
Or to a specific other player. Maybe it's a friend who will be able to craft the item really well for you.
Very cool.
If you are really dedicated to your craft, you're going to be the best at what you do.
One of the coolest things about this is the item you had crafted can also be soul-bound. In the past, you could only get your hands on crafted soul-bound items by having that profession yourself.
Wait, what?
Now anyone can have them crafted for them, which is really neat and really expands the number of items that we can provide that are really powerful because everyone can have them.
Oh, yeah, that's actually true.
This is also really cool because it means as a crafter, you can start building your client base. People are going to come back to you to get certain items. Maybe you're the best at making it, or you always throw in a little something extra. You're also going to be leveling up your profession. It's going to be really great.
So the first time
Depends on how many
you go to
options it
craft,
has.
you're going to notice a lot of different things, but probably the biggest is the introduction of
quality?
both to your crafted items and your gathered reagents. Quality works in a pretty simple way. If you craft something that's a higher quality, it's just going to be better. For a piece of gear, that probably means a higher item level. If it's, for instance, a potion, that might mean a more powerful effect at a higher quality.
And we're doing a lot of new things in the UI. We've put a lot of work into it to make sure that the professions feel really special and unique.
And another thing you might notice in the crafting UI that's new is the introduction of stats, specifically to your professions, both crafting and gathering. And this is another sort of major input into quality. Probably the biggest source of your ability to craft items at a higher quality is through crafting specializations. We've had crafting specializations in the past,
Oh
as far
my
back
God.
as original World of Warcraft. With Dragonflight, you can go out and earn specialization points in a whole bunch of different ways. So
Holy
maybe
shit.
you find an old book on a bookshelf in a ruin somewhere, or a hermit in a cave who can
Thank
teach you.
God
a
for
little bit
handy
about your
notes.
profession. So let's say you're a blacksmith. You might decide that first you want to become an armor smith. And
Right.
the more points you spend in armor smithing, the better you're going to get at crafting all armor.
This also means
Makes
that
sense.
if you specialize one way, other people in your guild may specialize in a completely different path. So this
That's what
means
we
that your
used to
guild could
have back in BC.
several
Yeah,
top
that's how it used to
blacksmiths,
be.
and everybody
Yeah.
is providing something unique and valuable to the team, which is really cool.
Now that reminds me of another update. We're actually adding crafting tables to all the different crafting professions. We're going to take those and we're going to put them all in the main city of Valdrakken. And you're going to go in there and you're going to get to see all the different players crafting their items at their cool crafting tables.
So like an alchemy
Yeah, it
table
means
from
you're going to walk
Vanilla
into the city and
WoW?
you're going to
Holy
see like
shit.
all these
That's cool.
alchemists huddled over here, and you're going to see all these blacksmiths over by the
Jesus.
forge. There will be other players filling orders or grabbing orders. There's going to be a whole new crafting area that's going to make you feel really part of the world.
That's a
so
really
Seems
good
like a much
idea.
more
New World
lively
does this
area
really
than
well.
it has
That's
in the
pretty
past.
good.
What
This
I'm
is
most
big
excited
good.
about, though, is the gear. We're introducing new types of gear for every profession, and when you go
What the
to,
fuck?
say, mine and node,
That's
you're actually
badass.
just switch into that gear. It's going to be
Look at
really
that.
great.
You're not going to have to carry that stuff around in
With
your
the
backpack
candle on their
anymore.
head,
It's
I
actually
love
going to be
it.
dedicated slots for each of your pieces of gear. But I'm a numbers guy. I love progressing. All
Okay.
pieces of profession gear will have those special stats that we mentioned before on them.
Yeah.
And as you get your hands on better versions of the gear, it's really going to help you get better at your profession.
I can't wait.
So
Thank
sick.
you for tuning in to the Dragonflight Deep Dive.
You've heard a lot about the content and changes coming in Dragonflight, and we've got a lot more in store for you in the coming
Wait,
months.
I want to.
Until
I
then,
want to see
we'll
the
see you
main
in
city, though.
Azeroth.
That was the dragon area where all the dragons lived. It was the one with like it was like a lot of like peaks and shit.